Looking at the Zambian kwacha, it has rallied about 8% this past week, really on the back of the new law in Zambia limiting the use of dollars in everyday transactions. How bad is the situation there?
Well, we've noticed that the exchange rate has seen, we've seen the Zambian kwacha kind of gaining strength owing to the announcement that was made in about May by the Bank of Zambia with regards to transactions being made in local currency. So we've seen it hit about 4,700, which is about the lowest that it's been in the last 13 months.
Is the central bank at all concerned about the appreciation of the kwacha at this stage?
Well, if they are, they haven't given any indication as to whether they're concerned or not. But of course, this has been something that has been in the pipeline for a while, and them just announcing it, and their seriousness, I guess, is expressed in the fact that the penalty to not abiding by this is pretty steep.
Let's take a look at the Lusaka Stock Exchange. We did see it coming under pressure in yesterday's trading session, down about 0.53%. Foreign participation remains to be quite weak over there in Zambia.
Yes, this is the case. If you see yesterday's trades, only about 135 million kwacha was seen in trades, and we see the most of trades that went through were in Zanaco and Zambia Sugar, and this has been the case in the previous weeks as well. So we've seen that participation by the foreign market hasn't been as strong as it has been in the past years, and this obviously is taking a toll on the all share index. As we've seen, as of last Friday, it was down 1.80, and as a comparison to other markets, we see that the Lusaka Stock Exchange all share index is not performing as well as it has in the previous years.
The Lusaka Stock Exchange not performing as well, but as a local trader there in Zambia, which stocks are you particularly finding value in at this stage?
Well, when you look at the markets that are, the stocks that are adding value to the stock, you look at stocks like Zanaco, and you look at stocks like Zambeef, which have been very popular with the local investors, as well as Lafarge has been a favorite of investors.
Let's move on to Mount Capital. It had its AGM last week. On the agenda was the shareholders really seeking approval for recapitalization of the banks. So what was the outcome on that front?
Well, the bank was seeking shareholder approval with regards to the capitalization of the bank, and this is obviously falling back on the fact that earlier in the year, Bank of Zambia had announced the new capital adequacy framework for local banks and foreign banks. Local banks being 104 billion kwacha and 524 for foreign banks. And so Kavmod Capital Holdings were looking to seek approval to raise about 90 billion kwacha. And to do this, they realized that they would have to do a rights offer or a public offering. And interestingly, what came out of it was that they had added a special clause to the agenda, and they were seeking for the shareholders to approve that the shareholders would not seek the 35% mandatory offer that is triggered by if an individual or party acquires 35% of the company, would trigger a mandatory offer as per the Securities Act. And so the directors were seeking shareholder approval that this would not be the case should an individual or related party acquire more than 35%.
To round things off, what are you expecting the bourse to trade like in today's trading session and for the rest of the week?
Pardon?
Trade on the bourse for the rest of the week.
Well, we should be seeing some big trades going through in Standard Chartered Bank, as it's always been the case, probably because of the bonus issue that we had earlier this year. So we've seen a lot of volumes trading in that company.